Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Sunny here, and we got Oduksini out, the new boss, so I figured I would do an updated guide on how to do that. Also, link in the description for the guide of doing all the other bosses. Once again, I am trying to do minimum gear here. There is the buffs up here, just FYI, they don't count for the bosses. So I am absolute minimum AP, 365, took out some gear, moved around everything, and just to show how relatively easy it is. So don't be discouraged about doing these bosses. Try them out. They are probably easier than you expect them to be. I took off a full piece of gear. Jesus Christ. This is like the good old Ranger build. So I took off an armor piece. I did this with 365 DP. Okay, so let's just go over everything. My add-ons first. Got a simple, regular add-on. Important things here. Just use your regular PvE add-ons, totally fine. Important notes here is that you really want to make sure that you have back attack and crit rate, of course attack speed, but one that people often forget, also in the regular PvE build, is damage reduction plus 20. This is massive in regular PvE and for bosses in terms of survivability. Always have this in your builds. Now, for these bosses, minus damage reduction doesn't actually apply, so if you want to make an optimized build, you could drop these and put something else in there that you need. Maybe more of the different damage ones, or maybe even some HP recovery if you need that. Okay, so let's take a look at Lightstones. I'm using Vicious Shadow. This boss here, Oduksini, does not have any species. So if you want more damage, you could use all out attack or watch your back, but you lose HP. You lose DR on it. So yeah, maybe you want to be on the safe side and just use Vicious Shadow, but it also works. Let's take a look at Reforge Stones. I am using, this here again is for the bosses. Most of the bosses you're not going to reach 100% BSR. There are some different tricks that you can do it, but there's not a min-maxing guide for speedrunning, so it's just to kill it. But this killed here, I am using AP, and I'm using back attack and crit damage. And I'm using 1 crit rate. On Warrior specifically, I only need 1 crit rate to cap out, because I also have crit rate add-ons, right? If your class needs more crit rate, like Awakening Dosa, Awakening Witch, you want to use 3 crit rates. You want to use this setup on all weapons. So that's AP, damage reduction, crit rate, back attack, and crit damage. Now, because I don't need 50% crit rate on Warrior, I decided to go for HP instead of crit rate on 2 of them, just for, again, increased survivability. As you'll see here, I have plenty damage, and just more survivability is always nice. Despite, again, I'm doing this with very low DP. Right, let's look at buffs. For the buffs, we got simple cron mill, always. I'm using demi-human here. Which type of harmony you use doesn't matter, as long as you're using one of them for the monster damage reduction rate. You can use any of them. I'm using demi-human because it's the cheapest one. I'm using deep sea for the back attacks. If you can't get those, then you can just use courage. If you can't get those, then, I mean, you can use the other ones as well, I guess, right? They're just better, more expensive. Of course, you got Villa buff, you got church buffs, and AP house buff. I would recommend. Nothing else. That's the one I'm using. And your Alchemy Stone on. I decided to go with this one. It's the same as the Vel's Heart in speed, so not using Resplendent or anything like that. Just really baseline minimum things here. If you got more, great. Crystals. So this here is just my regular PvE setup. For this boss here, I do recommend using Corrupted instead of Darkness for back attacks. This is better for a lot of the fight. There is a few phases where you get to actually DPS the boss, and back attacks is good there, but it's very, very little part of it. You want crit damage for all the other phases in this fight. And Calamity 1 to 7, there's a big DPS check on the boss, so I use Darkness there. But for 8, 9, and 10, it seems like you just basically DPS the boss in 2 seconds. I can't even imagine that being a DPS check, like, or any way you can fail the boss DPSing. So here, use crit damage. A quick note about this. As you see in the video, I have no problem killing the boss and everything. If you feel like you need more survivability, what you do is you drop mechas. Drop the mechas, and you put in bitterness. You can put in 2 bitterness here. Now, if you're still fine, you want to do even more, you can drop the next 2 mechas as well, and you can put in another one of these, doesn't matter which one, for the 10 AP and 10 DR. And you can also put in one of the ruined crystals for even more DR, if you so wishes. All right, so this here is another option you could put in. A quick note, I see a lot of people, might as well talk about this now, suggest you use ruins instead of bitterness. I haven't tested it yet, but unless how this stuff works was changed, bitterness is better than the ruined crystal for DR. And this goes back like years, I'll just TLDR it, right? Big and Shiny did some testing years ago, and the way regular DR and monster DR is applied is different. So regular DR actually has a better scaling. And his testing proved that 1 DR was roughly equivalent to 2 monster DR. So with this in effect, right, this is 10 plus 10 3, so this should be around 23 DR, whereas the best ruin crystal is only 20 DR. So unless, of course, you're fighting it down here, right? So I personally use bitterness over the ruin crystals, but yeah, you could pop it into here as well. So anyway, that's some different options in the crystal setups. Crit damage, regular max damage. If you want more tankiness, you drop the mechas for bitterness and these patient crystals. Okay, so this here is the kill, and we're just gonna play it. I will pause along the way and talk about what's going on. You can see the AP up here as well, right? My DP in the corner, so that it's the gear I just showed you that I'm running. So, first things here. I'm just gonna break down everything on the mechanics and what to watch out for. All right, here in the beginning, I really recommend clicking the icon up here. It gives you a different view, a boss view. It's very good for this fight. You're gonna need like the overview to find the different mechanics that you need to do. So the first thing that happens here is these pillars are gonna light up every second one, and you just need to kill them. All right, so you just kill them. The bird is gonna fly down. It's gonna do some explosions here. You can see it. You can iframe it or you can block it. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going here so I don't get back attacked by the boss. And then I'm just blasting, right? Killing these. And that's, yeah, pretty much it. If you have big AoEs, you can stand between and throw down some AoEs. It makes you kill it faster, but play it safe. Get the series of guide of how to do it. And it's more important getting the kill than it is shaving up 5 seconds and then wiping, right? Just dash out of these. You can block them. They do damage from the center. Watch out for getting back attacks with the mobs. And again, like you see these animations here, it's about because an attack is about to come. It doesn't really do any damage on Calamity 7. That would kill you, and you need to then like iframe it. But 8, 9, and 10, it's just super chill. My HP is barely moving, if moving at all. And remember, I took off a piece of gear. Okay, so here, let me go back a little bit. After you kill all the pillars, the boss is going to land and knock you back, and you will be knocked out into the cloud and take a lot of damage. If you get knocked out, no need to panic. You can leave if you want to, but as you see here, I get knocked out, and you can get out in time. So there are 2 ways you can avoid getting knocked out. Over here, I don't do this. I probably will start doing it. There is one area in the map where there's a big rock. And you can just go in front of that rock and you'll be knocked into that rock, and you won't go out into the shadow realms and take damage. So that's a safe way of doing it. You can also, that's what I'm trying to do here. You can also go in front of the pillars, on the inside of the pillars like this, but it's not that consistent, and I'm not sure if, like, it seems like some of them works better than others, and I'm still not sure if it's the one with the cloud underneath or it is the one without it. So you see here, I'm gonna get knocked out. I think I was also like clipping it on the end. So go to the big rock and you're gonna be safe. You see here, nothing really happens. You just go in. Next up is this phase here. The boss gets a red orb around it. And now you need to kill the red orb. Wow, crazy. You kill the red orb. That's it. And once you kill the orb, you can DPS the boss. The only thing to watch out for here is there's gonna be these tornadoes on the boss, and they will intersect, cross on the boss. So watch your position. Here, I just DPS the boss, right? Don't get nuked by these. Get out into the corners here. If you're a range class, it's so much easier. And then you nuke it down a little bit. New color orb gets up. What the hell just happened? And now you're looking for that one. So here's going to be the white one. And this is why you want to zoom out. You can way better see what's going on. Just go over here to the white orb or the white pillar. And you kill it. And you DPS the boss again. Watch out for the tornadoes. And yeah, there we go. Next phase, going to be a color phase as well here. The dogs spawn and you just leave them up. All the dogs are going to have a color over their head. It's not important for this right here, but it's important for the next one. So the dogs are spawning now, and they're going to be doing vomiting damage. That's the, you see these here on the right side. Sorry, I'll go back a little bit. The purple ones, they do damage. You're looking for the white square. It's always for this, it's always a white square. And you need to go and body block it. So you stay here, you find a plot, you look all around. Very important, you got the smart view now. You see the white square, and you go and you stand in front of it. And it will now always go in order for the next white square. All the dogs are gonna vomit a white square. It's random which direction it goes, but it will keep going that direction after the second one. So I'm standing here and I'm looking at the two sides. These two dogs here on the side. Oh, it's this one over here. So now I know, go in front of that. And now I know we'll continue in this direction, so I just go in front of the next one. Don't get hit by the explosions, city taking extra damage. And just wait here, you'll see it come out. There we go. And on to the next one. You see here on the ground, that's another thing you could watch out for. It's gonna do some explosions. You wanna stand on the part that's not purple. And now, yeah, you just take all the vomit. I think that's the last one. Yep. And now he's going to land. Again, you should be looking for the big pillar. Or you can stand here and hope for the best. I got a better position here, so see, I don't get knocked out. And now the final phase, the last color phase here. The bird boss is going to land once again. And we'll land here in a second. So he didn't get knocked that far back. He's going to have a color. And the color of the boss, you need to find the dog with the correct color. And so that's the purple. I'm looking around. Where's Purby? Over here. And then you kill the dog with the correct color. It drops an orb. Then you take that orb and you put it into the correct color. So it's just color matching here at this point. Do be careful about, for example, let's say it was the white one. I had to go over here. Be careful about getting too close. The first time I did this, I wiped with it because it actually clipped the wrong one and then you're going to wipe. Also, don't go through the boss. You're probably gonna die. So yeah, you just go here and you make sure you pull it into the orb, and now you can DPS the boss. And now it's gonna be red one. And yeah, you find the red one and you kill it. Pick up the red orb. And we're gonna go over to the red one here. So there's no real time issue here. We're just chilling. No risk running through the cyclones. And now we just kill the boss. Stay out of the cross. And there we go. The last thing I do want to mention real quick, I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but you get it here, is the graphics settings. When you're doing bosses, it's very important that you play it in remastered. You can go lower textures, whatever, if you want to, but you really have to do it in remastered, otherwise a lot of the animations and stuff won't actually show. So do this in remastered. You can turn this off if you want to, right? But remastered, and then also under the effects, make sure that, I should have done this. Other effects are turned on. Other effects are gonna be the animations, that's gonna be the colors, all of this. You can turn off your own effects. You can turn those off if you want to, but make sure you have other effects maxed out so you don't miss any of the colors or animations or stuff like that. But yeah, guys, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to ask either here in the comment section or at Twitch.tv/bprimegaming. I'll see you all in the next one.